Let's get to the world of sports. Before we get to that, we had a former NFL player making more waves. Raj, did you wanna play that clip?
Which
Oh,
which clip?
You wanna play your boy, Mr. Cameron?
Oh yeah, we want to go to that next.
Yeah, we can go to that. Let's get to the boy while we're here. While we're here, we'll
All right,
go
hold
ahead.
up. Wait a minute. Let me pull
Do
it
your
up.
thing. Do your thing. Dre, are you familiar with the Cam Newton interview that's making rounds on social media? I was just
oh, the
privy to
one when
by.
when I think her name was Dr. Brian when she read him.
I'm gonna just say this, brother. I'm a Dr. Bryant. What's her name? I want to get her name right. What's her name?
I believe her name is Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant. That's a great last name, by the way. I just want you to know this, baby.
Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
Hey,
So you
black
gonna
man.
you gonna
Hey,
play that
black man.
sound bite?
Hey, 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 black man. Go to therapy.
Who's
You
about
never
to
know who.
speak?
You never know what might be walking through that door when you get that therapy.
Oh,
Hey,
okay. Lord.
you
Let's
might
let's let.
get your look. You might get your release that you've been looking for.
Okay. We're gonna play the interview. Here we go.
Where you want. A lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
Okay, so I'm not married. I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm just
just
saying,
want
or by
God to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay.
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it. I didn't say it. I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action based. You're not taking your time.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action based. You have 8 kids
Yeah.
with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay. So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies. But you are proactively choosing where you want.
A lot of people see.
Choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father. And I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior to say that I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home and with them babies. But you are.
Raj, how you feel about Cam, man? You wanted to talk about this? I know you were passionate about this. How you feeling, man?
The doctor was right, man. I mean, my goodness. When I first heard this earlier today, I was like, wow, she kind of hit the nail on the head. Because it's not just Cam Newton doing this. There's a lot of other athletes and celebrities that, just, go around and putting their seed in all kinds of women and all of a sudden they're not there and they're going from house to house, home to home. I mean, it's a thing that's been around for centuries and years and all kinds of things, but it's like I always I always wanted to, if I was going to have a family, I always wanted to be with just one woman. I didn't want to do none of that. I don't want to spread my seed all over the place. Have my kid just grow up with a single mother and all this other type of stuff. So I thought that was very well put together by the doctor. And Cam Newton is just so he's just so goofy, man. But and so slick too. But yeah, bro. I just I was feeling everything she was saying, and I wish more people would think the way she was thinking, and like because it actually does have an effect when you're a kid. It does. It actually has an effect when your father's not around and he's at somebody else's house or he's doing some other things, and you're wondering why he's not there and where's he at and why doesn't he live with us and that type of stuff like that. It really does have a psychological effect, and it's kind of hurt a lot of kids growing up to the point where there is a lot of broken homes. I would know because I work where I work at. I see a lot of things that that lead to where that kind of stuff can go through or go at. So I'm not gonna get into details, but I can see where it ends up at, where a lot of kids are missing their father and they're not there. But but yeah, man, that's tough, man. I mean, I just wish that more people were careful with where they plant their seed and what they do, and between the sheets in their bedrooms and stuff. People got to be very be very careful.
All right, go ahead, D. What happened now?
To Roger's point, I know he wanted to talk about it. Cam Newton was being the slickster with his mouth. We can see why he got 8 kids because he's being slick. But the doctor's right. A lot of broken homes. You got a lot of dads out there that's not in homes, and it becomes a generational thing. It becomes the next generation does it. It goes after that. So it's a tough deal, man. I always say put the sock on the pickle, cover on the pie, and there's a reason for that. So you won't be stuck in those situations, man. Then you get bitter, child support, all that good stuff. I mean, Cam Newton got the money. We know that. But still, like the doctor was saying, you got 8 homes that don't, 8 kids that don't have a dad. And then if dad settles down, it's like, well, he chose them over me or whatever. It breeds resentment, man. You got to be in them kids' life, man. And I mean, if you like our good guy, Mr. Nick Cannon, he got all the kids out there.
Yeah.
He's got the money. I guess you can do that, but again, it's tough, man. It's because kids ain't dumb. People might think that, but kids know. Kids know what the deal is, man, at times. And it's a tough deal, man. And Cam Newton, you can understand why he wouldn't want to exactly get married because of the money he has. He don't want that to be kind of taken or split in half. That's why the prenup going to have to come in. Chicky Whip now saying he wants to marry her, man. I mean, marry him. He got to get over that fear, man. But him being slick saying, he I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But we relocating. You got 8 kids on the side, man. So you can't always have it all. The cake might taste good, but you can't have it all the time.
Go ahead, Dre. I know you like do you like the Cam hat with the dreads out as a dreadhead?
Once in a while, but this has seemed to be like his thing. So I just can't be great. But nevertheless, I want to come at this.
No more.
It's funny. The first person I did think about as soon as she was talking was Nick Cannon, but I want to come at it from a standpoint of defending the brother for a little bit. And I'm gonna defend him, but I'm gonna weave into her as well. You got to factor in Cam Newton was married before, so there's hesitation there as to why he wouldn't want to get married again. Now, to have that many children and those different baby mothers, that's wild. And that's why I brought up the Nick Cannon situation. But I don't know if it's a matter of fear, D, but I think it's more hesitation because he's already experienced that. And he may not want to, like you said, when you make that much money, the name recognition, it's a lot that comes with marrying somebody like a Cam Newton, and he may not want to go down that road again. Though he does have a woman, he may just not want to get married again. So that's something that he has to deal with, as well as he said he wants more kids. But like you guys were saying, when you have that many children by that many different women, your time it is like you're only spread so thin, especially being that all the different things that Cam Newton does for the community in the world of football, his podcast, he's got a lot going on. So he doesn't even have time probably for himself or for his kids like that. So it's really hard to be a family man and be everything that he needs to fully be. So I think that what I do also like too is that he listened to that woman. He didn't interrupt her. He let her say what she needed to say and soaked it in. And I think that that's an important element because that shows some type of growth on Cam Newton's part, as well as a want for better. So you can see that there's a maturity because the Cam Newton that we knew years ago wouldn't have been like that. So I think that moving forward, he wants to be a better man, and I think that who he had on the show, Dr. Brian, I think that she came from a really great perspective, and that, like you guys were saying, more in the community need to listen to somebody like her because what she's saying is true. It's a lot of us would come from broken families, or the father didn't do his responsibility, or sometimes the parents just didn't do what they needed to do. It's a two-sided situation, and I think that like her perspective, especially, I think she's a therapist, and how she was able to really break it down and make him like ponder on it. So that's not only a lesson for Cam Newton, but it's a lesson for all of us, and a great conversation that needs to be had. Unlike some of these divisive relationship podcasts that are out there, and that tear down that split down and tear down our community, as opposed to getting us together, making us better, and getting us on one accord.
Thank you for that. Let's get our guest. She wants to hop in real quick, give her piece. She's the first lady of the Flex Zone
Oh,
podcast.
my
You can check
girl.
her out each and every week with us as we do AEW and all PLEs and pay-per-view. She was with us yesterday for AEW All In, and you can always check her out as she is the one, the only. Welcome her back to the Flex Zone Palace, Queen Mia. What's going on, Queen? How you
Hey
doing, Queen?
guys.
Missed you
want-
yesterday at
You
Jimmy's.
guys are here late.
Missed you yesterday.
we do this every Monday,
You
Queen.
came
You
on?
know that.
Yeah, I was there at Jimmy's yesterday. I stopped by.
Oh, no, I wasn't at Jimmy's. I was out. I was on my way to Virginia, to be
Okay.
honest. For most of it. Dre, listen, you really came in here guns blazing. Like, I need to see more of this. I need to see more of this because you ain't saying nothing but the truth, okay?
Well,
I
thank
was like,
you.
wow, like he came in here firing on all cylinders. Yes.
So,
Yes.
Queen Mia, I'm assuming you wanted to get your 2 cents in on Rogers. It's his perspectives.
I was, but the coonery was just too much for me, so I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna. I don't want to dig into it.
Go ahead and dig in his ass.
He
Go
is
ahead,
where he
for the other
is.
side. Go ahead.
Listen, he is where he is. He either gonna get lost or he gonna get with it one day. I don't really know. He gonna do what he want to do. I don't know. There's nothing. There really isn't much hope for a lot of black men that be gargling whatever Trump be giving them. There really isn't much hope because they still are avidly supporting him, even though he's avidly racist, repeatedly, never actually doing anything that benefits the black community, but always doing things that are to our detriment. So until somebody is ready to go policy for policy, with me versus another administration, I don't really need to do too much talking because the policies speak for themselves. But with Cam, I feel like he really is a very prime example of why everybody is not deserving of reproductive rights. Not deserving. I feel like I work in childcare, so there's a huge part of me that is really radical about childcare and everything that comes with children, because I take care of children for a living. This is what I'm very passionate about. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life until I decide that I'm going to be done. And thinking about the damage that people do because they just think that because they're capable, that is something that they should do, and no other thought goes into it. Nothing. There's no real work actually put into parenting, and that's why kids end up the way that they are. Everything that he said was just so fucking stupid, and I was just like, he really just thinks because he says it smoothly and because he's good looking that it's gonna get there. But it really is just proof that that's why none of his baby mamas are smart. None of them are smart. None of them are highly educated. All of them do. None of them do things that, you know, people would actually like encourage their kids to do. Except, you know, maybe if you want to say his most recent one, she's the only one that, you know, really was not like a stripper or anything. But yeah, like everybody is not deserving of reproductive rights. Everybody is not deserving of being able to call themselves, you know, a parent. Like Drake really said, you know, there's no way that he well, I mean, he didn't say this verbatim, but he was basically like, you know, he does a lot. So, you know, when does he have time with his kids? When do we see this man with his children? Birthday parties, events,
We seen him get beat up by children.
hosting. Like when do we see this man actively being a father? The answer is never. Same with Nick Cannon's dumbass. I was like, everybody, like the things that they're doing to these kids, and they feel like because they have money, like it's okay. And it's like, none of this is okay. How are you going to explain to your children when they get older why you were not active in their lives? Why you decided that it was okay for you to go and just reproductively abuse instead of being a parent to them? Like, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And thinking about all of the people, like whoever, the way that men believe that marriage, right, is less of a commitment, right, than children, they need to be studied, because they really did something to all, like they did something to a huge amount of men that think that, like, oh, like, you know, I'll have a baby with you, but I'm not going to marry you. Like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Like, seriously. The fact that she really had to sugarcoat it in order to get him to understand was so pathetic. And I was just like, you know what? Hey, maybe he got a little maybe he got that what's it called, y'all? What's it called? CTE. Maybe he came to suffering a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Because there's no way that he really felt like what he was saying was actually like making sense to anybody, like except himself. And it was just really sad to see, because one day, like, the internet is forever. One day his kids are going to see him spewing that nonsense, and then they're going to be trying to figure out, like, it's always men like that be trying to figure out, oh, like, why my kids don't talk to me. Like, you want to know why your kids go no contact with you? Because of dumb shit like that. That's why. Don't have children, people, unless you are mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, and socially ready to do so. If you can't check all of those boxes, don't fucking have children. They're not accessories. They're not accessories. They're people. Just because they're little people, they're eventually going to grow up to be big people that actively function in the world. And you're going to be trying to figure out, well, why is this happening? Why is my kid like this? Because you didn't do your fucking job and raise them. That's why. Okay. Now I'm done. Thanks, guys.
Queen Mia dropping bombs.
Yeah. As I do, you know, every once in a while I have to come in here and sprinkle a little bit of feminine flair in here, so that way, you know.
How can the people follow you if they wanna follow you?
So I'm on Instagram. Okay, you can find me at QueenMia_99. That's really where I am, but for the most part, you can find me on the Flex Zone. I'm here. I'm not as active on TikTok as I want to be, but I might change that up before the year is over.
Okay, come back
Well,
on the
Queen Mia,
TikTok.
we appreciate you, and we'll see you soon this week, right?
Still want
Yes,
my
you
dinner.
will. Yes, you will.
Still want
What do
my
you say,
dinner.
right?
Still want
What
my
do you
meat.
say?
He wants his meat.
Yes.
I didn't even make any meat.
I want meat.
I didn't
Well,
cook.
after that whole
cook
Trump
yesterday,
thing, I don't know if
actually.
she's gonna give you any, brother.
No, she's gonna give me meat.
I didn't cook. I didn't even
Trump,
cook yesterday.
whoever. Trump, Kamala, it don't matter.
I didn't. He need to go and he need to go ahead and go ask his father.
Man, you had a Charles Barkley like right there.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. I don't have no time.
Put that up. Yes, pause. Put a pause on that.
Appreciate you, Queen Mia. Thank you. Staying up late with the Flex Zone, as always. Welcome anytime. We'll see you in the show.
See you next time.
Yeah. Big shout out to Queen Mia.
You was a little forceful there too, Roger.
Hey, I'm always forceful. That's how you gotta do it.
Nah, I don't know.
Keep on their toes.
Well-
Nah, brother. The way you was forcing that.
Oh, wait a minute. Mark, wrong sound in this joint tonight.
Oh boy, Mark in the building. Let's get to the sports. We got to the other stuff. Let's get to the sports. Let's get to it. College football